It has taken me 17 years to watch High School Musical 2. I have actually seen the third one, and I've seen the first one. I actually saw the third one before I saw the first one, and now I'm watching the second. This was released in 2007. It's directed by Kenny Ortega. It's written by Peter Barsaccini. I apologise if I've mispronounced that. And of course, it stars Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, and Ashley Tisdale. And it's fine. It's okay. There is absolutely nothing about this that is bad. But I don't think it is anywhere near the quality of the first one, or even the third one. It definitely is sitting there at the bottom, but it's still okay. It's not a bad film. One of the reasons why I didn't love this, but also I liked the locations. I'm going to contradict myself, but I didn't like it as much because it's not set in the school. I really like the school setting. I think it lends itself to a lot of relatability and a lot of different characters, whereas this one is actually set in a country club. But the reason I'm going to contradict myself is because visually, I think the country club looks absolutely gorgeous, and that means that I kind of liked that. So I guess I enjoyed the setting, but not as much as I do when it's set in the school. And Sharpay manages to make it that Troy works in the country club over summer. Obviously, she's trying to romance Troy, and it turns out that everybody else, the bulk of the main characters, are also working at the country club. And the film is about them working there, their friendships, the relationship between Troy and Vanessa, and also Sharpay's attempts at getting Troy. And I'll say no more than that about the specifics. But in general, it's a well-written story. The characters are all very likeable. Well, Sharpay is an interesting character, and the characters feel like a natural progression from the previous film. They still feel like the same characters, which seems obvious, but sometimes sequels, the characters can be a little bit different. That's not the case here. And nothing about it didn't work. I just didn't necessarily find the narrative itself to be that interesting. There wasn't a lot of variety in it. A variety in locations, but not necessarily the specifics of the story. And the other reason why I don't think it's as good as the first film is the music. I don't remember the music in the third film, so I can't comment on how it compares to the music of the third film. I do remember the story very well. But with this one, the music is just, in my opinion, pretty unmemorable. You Are the Music in Me is a good song. But aside from that, there wasn't really anything in this that stood out to me as being very memorable. Apart from You Are the Music in Me, I'm not going to be singing any of these songs for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week. So the music is fine. Again, it's not bad music. It's just not that catchy. Costumes are gorgeous. Performances are really good. The story works well. I just don't think it's as fascinating as the first film, and doesn't have as much to offer. But it's not offering nothing. Just again, to compare it to the first film, it's not as good. But I'd say as a sequel, they tried to make it different by giving it a different location, giving it a bit of a different atmosphere, while retaining the same characters and the same character qualities. So in general, there are some good things about this. I don't love it, but it's fine. I'm glad that I've finally seen it, and I didn't regret the time spent watching it. As I said, I remember the third film being better, and obviously neither of them were as good as the first film, because the film that came out originally in 2006, which was, wow, okay, nearly 20 years ago, 18, almost 19 years ago, that's quite incredible, actually. And I'd say the film was pretty incredible. I hadn't seen it for quite a few years, but it was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So it's understandable that the second film wouldn't have been as good, but considering the third film is better, it had the potential. Either way, I didn't mind it. Not a bad film. Probably wouldn't watch it again, but all things considered, High School Musical 2 isn't so bad.